Today's episode is brought to you by Renewal by Andersen of Central Pennsylvania. Renewal by Andersen offers you a better way to a better window. Go to rbacentralpadeals.com for this month's specials. In writing for The Vindicator almost a week after the incident, Ivan T. Sanderson, described by the paper as, quote, a widely respected authority on the unexplained phenomena of science, noted how the object was on an uninterrupted straight trajectory before it, quote, made a 25-degree turn to the east. There is no possible converting this course into any form of geometric curve, stated Sanderson. The fall of material on the ground pinpoints the passage, and meteorites do not make abrupt turns in their direction of flight. This and other stories will be told during Paranormal PA, an original PennLive series that dives into Pennsylvania's stranger tales from ghosts to aliens to Bigfoot. Keep your eyes peeled for Paranormal PA's debut this Monday, October 3rd on PennLive.com. A report has found that the Lehigh River watershed is one of the most polluted in the country. Meanwhile, the Pittsburgh Public Schools Board has voted to revise its sex education policy. More state roads will be open for recreational use this fall, and a mom surprises her son in space. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and you're listening to Today in PA. A new report has found that the Lehigh River watershed is one of the most polluted in the country, reports the Morning Call. Researched and released by Environment America, Philly-based nonprofit Penn Environment's national organization, the report ranked the watershed 13th in toxicity-weighted releases and 30th in total cancer-causing chemicals released. The watershed also received about 9,600 pounds of toxic chemicals that could affect the ability to have children. Says Penn Environment Field Director Flora Cardoni, quote, Pennsylvania's waterways shouldn't be polluters' dumping grounds. The Pittsburgh Public Schools Board voted unanimously this week to adopt a revised sex ed policy, reports Pittsburgh's Action News 4. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette previously reported how this revised policy moves away from emphasizing abstinence as the, quote, expected norm, unquote, and instead, quote, stresses that abstinence from sexual activity is the only completely reliable means of preventing sexually transmitted infections and HIV when transmitted sexually. It also highlights that the sex education provided by the district is, quote, evidence-based, culturally relevant, and inclusive of all students regardless of race, gender, disability, etc. When this new policy goes into effect remains undisclosed. The State Department of Conservation and Natural Resources is opening more roads in state forest districts this year for people to enjoy during the fall, states northcentralpa.com. Over 533 more miles of road, to be exact. Explains Department Secretary Cindy Adams-Dunn, quote, this improved accessibility, coupled with DCNR's promotion of deer hunting, benefits forest regeneration and the overall ecosystem. For more information on which roads are open where, click on the link in the related podcast article. Astronaut Bob Hines is currently serving as a pilot for NASA's SpaceX Crew 4 mission to the International Space Station, says PennLive. This week, the Milton Hershey School, where, coincidentally enough, Hines' grandfather once taught, asked him to talk to students from space, giving them the opportunity to stand up and ask him questions. And to Hines' surprise, the first person to do so was his mom, Lynn. Lynn started off by saying, quote, I'm not sure if you remember me because it's been so long since I've seen you in person, unquote, before asking if Hines remembered to brush his teeth, comb his hair, and wash his hands. Hines confirmed that he did indeed do all three of those things and even remembered to eat his vegetables to boot. Happy Friday, everyone. To stay up to date over the weekend, drop by PennLive.com. Also, please remember to give this podcast a rating and to share it around with your family and friends. Thanks ahead of time, and as always, thanks for sticking with us. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and I'll be back next week for some more of Today in PA. Today's episode is brought to you by Renewal by Andersen of Central Pennsylvania. Renewal by Andersen offers you a better way to a better window. Go to rbacentralpadeals.com for this month's specials.